same old song that I always sing each year. But just because it's perennial doesn't make it less real. And I believe that you could be what I need to believe. I believe. Oh, it just keeps coming round again. It just keeps coming round again. The conclusion I need is easily reached with you. You have given me all and there's nothing left to do. And I believe that you could be what I need to believe. I believe. Oh, it just keeps coming round again. It just keeps coming round again.
How you doing, guys? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Had a beautiful weekend. Guys, I sent a picture of me and my son at his graduation, and the amount of love that you guys showed my son was he was amazed. Almost 400 people, 100 comments. It's like I said his nickname, I call him Boo. I was like, Boo, the amount of people that love you on my podcast is amazing. People don't like it when I show a picture of myself, but as soon as I put a picture of my son with me, bam, you guys just hit it. Plus, it was Father's Day, obviously, so I got to spend Father's Day. It was great. I haven't seen him in 3 months, but I go to Colombia Wednesday to see my friends and family. And, of course, I'll be doing a couple lives in Colombia, literally live, going to show everybody the beauty of downtown and how humble people are down there, and it feels like a Friday night every night when I'm there. So it's great. It's not like when you're living in Canada or in America and you're always excited for the weekend. That's when you tend to get old faster. In Colombia, for me, it's like a Friday night every night for those people because they love even though they're poor people, and I hate to use the word poor, even though they're less fortunate for money. To them, they still love life. A good majority anyway. So anyway, first thing before I do the shout outs to our common sensors, our patriots, our freedom fighters, our American family, of course, purebloods. Once upon a time, purebloods, guys, I've said it before on the last live. Do yourselves a favor. Add my new account called Freedom Jeff, because obviously there will be a time in the future where they're definitely going to get rid of this account as Jeff Freedom. So I made a second account, and I need to put the people to have that backup just in case, because the last one was kind of a warning. So just to let you know, Freedom Jeff, it should be there, Freedom Jeff. I can't imagine there being any more other accounts as Freedom Jeff. Do yourselves a favor, because when they let this account go, there won't be much praying for that one. I think that will be it for this account that I've had. I'm actually surprised that I still have it. But anyway, just please, I want to mark that down because you never know. Samurai tend to go off the rocker with the whole elbows up and finger in the butt. Actually, that's a pretty good slogan. Elbows up, finger in the butt. If anybody wants to make T-shirts, I think that's a pretty good slogan besides, the throat punch. Elbows up, finger in the butt. Wow, there you go. There's a new franchise business for people that might make a little bit of money. So anyway, let's do the shout-outs, and we'll start off with tonight's podcast and see who's watching. And let's learn a little bit of stuff. And if you guys got some stuff to throw back, maybe I don't know it all. Obviously, I don't know it all. But I like to keep everyone in tuned, and obviously I like to keep people focused and less fear-mongering from what you hear and see from other people, other podcasters, the news, obviously the fake news. So the first shout-out's going out to Miss Michelle from Ontario. And here's another thing, guys. If by any chance that the podcast goes down tonight, tomorrow, whenever night, please, it's just a glitch. Stay on. The podcast will come back on. Obviously, if I do a refresh, it's usually an internet problem. All right. So just stay on within 30 seconds to a minute. It will come back on, just to let you know. All right. So second shout out going out to Miss Judy Horn from Kentucky, Mr. Roland, Debbie Gray, John Daly from Pennsylvania, Juanita, Miss Nancy, Vincent Guimont, Miss Muriel Dag, Miss Tara, Gilles Bourgeois, Patsy Goodwin, Miss Sheila from Texas, Ron from the Winterpeg area. How you doing, Linda from Pennsylvania, Miss Denise, Miss Irene from Ontario, Melanie from Tennessee, Nancy Volke, Miss Tina Smith from Kentucky, Dan Marsh, Sylvia from the island, Miss Myrna from Kansas, Bert. You got to love it when, the best thing I've ever did was bring Roland Cerna, reached out to him because I seen a lot of good in him to bring him on. And then he shared his American family with us. And obviously I watched, I spent most of my Friday night watching him sing karaoke and actually didn't mind it. You're getting old when you're spending a Friday night watching someone sing karaoke. And he brought back a lot of songs that I used to listen to, that I was writing down a bunch of songs. And I reached out to him and said, Roland, what are you using to get that software? Because obviously, there might be a night or two that I might jump on and sing karaoke with a few beer. My girlfriend's never seen me drink, to be honest with you. We've been together 3 years, and she's never seen me drunk. She might see me with one drink in my hand, but never drunk. But who knows? Maybe I will throw out a crazy karaoke on a night that Roland's not doing it, and bring back some songs that I don't believe I can sing, but I'll try. And obviously, if people are drinking with me, I sound better. But anyway, and that's just for future reference. Who knows? How you doing, Miss Janice from Sunshine State of Florida? I'm still jealous. Miss Anna, my cousin from Shediac, Tony Shepard, Mr. Marcel Robbie Show, Miss Eagles from Ontario, Michelle Garraway. Who else? Mike Boom from Riverview, Brent McDowell from North Carolina, Camaro Chevy Girl from Nova Scotia, Miss Sharon Daly from Pennsylvania, Mercersburg, I hope I said that right, Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. Who else? Maria LeBlanc from my town now, Dieppe. Miss Natalie Newman. Natalie, tell Marcel Perry I'm missing his lives in the morning because I'm not getting up as early as that guy. But tell him I still miss him and I love him. He's a true patriot, but I'm missing his lives in the morning. So tell him I still got him in the back of my mind. I still think of him. He's an awesome gentleman. If you guys want some laughter in the morning, check out Marcel Perry because you got to be prepared to hear a lot of F bombs because every second word is an F bomb. Sometimes I wonder if he worked in the oil patch. How you doing, Michelle LeBlanc? Miss Carrie from Ontario, Mr. Joel Dag, a brother from a different mother. I'm calling you, Mr. Joel Dag, tomorrow just to let you know I want to borrow your weed whacker. I'm too cheap to go out and buy a weed whacker. They're like $300 for just a little thing that I have around the house. So expect a call tomorrow. Who else here? Marion. How you doing, Marion from PEI? Bob and Lori from Grand Falls. Sylvie and Julien Saunier from up north. And Jan Grabelski. That's a new one. How you doing, Jan? I think maybe once or twice I seen your name. Nicole Gallant. Great last name. Brenda Pryor. Miss Charlene and her dog. Her award-winning puppies. Mr. Dale Robar from Nova Scotia. May. And Joanna Bickerstaff, of course, from Mississippi. And the names go on. Marcel the Tiger, Dion, of course. And the names go on, guys. I could be here all night. It's amazing. Patty Volter, Jane Byam also. All right. First things first. So I got that out with my account. We had to do that. Second thing, obviously the G7 that you guys are seeing with Donald Trump. If you take a look at, I'm not going to share videos of stuff like that because who really cares about what happens at the G7? I spoke to him last weekend. He's been so busy, but I'll reach out to him again. Thank you. So yeah, I don't pay attention to the G7 because Trump's just really at the G7 just for the hell of it, basically to show, the elbows up crew of who's the boss. And he's doing a very good job because no one's paying attention to, Carnage Carney. And guys, what have we been hearing? Okay, to get off, I'm going to be like an old lady at bingo tonight because I'm going to be all over the place. All weekend, all we've been hearing, all right, is World War III, and all this. It just never stopped. Oh my God, I can't believe we're going to be sending American Canadian troops to fight against Iran and all this. How you doing, Kim from Cleveland? And I've said, stop listening to the news, all right? Because the whole point of these wars, fake wars, is to draw your attention. They'll never be able to start Nazera Jazera unless the wars stop. So these fake wars obviously are by the bad people. There is no need to start a war. How you doing, Ray? There is no need to start a war. There's especially when you hear a war or bombs being thrown on civilians. Use your common sense. All right, for the Pete's sakes. Iran doesn't have nuclear bombs. All right, so stop it with the nuclear bombs. There's no such thing as a nuclear bomb, period. All right, so there's nuclear reactors. I think people get mistaken when they think of nuclear. There's cities that have nuclear reactors for electricity, obviously, but there's no such thing as a nuclear bomb. All right, so that BS had started back in the 80s with the Cold War between Russia and United States, and they were trying to make American people, Canadian people, and all the people under, fear mongering, trying to make the big old Moscow Russian people look like they had a nuclear bomb. And remember the movie The Day After of this is what a nuclear bomb would do if Russia ever attacked United States. And this is what a nuclear bomb, and it puts so much fear in people that stop it. There's no such thing as a nuclear bomb. Yes, there's such thing that there's an A bomb and, you know, atomic bomb, but there's no such thing as a nuclear bomb. All right. That is just fear mongering at its best. I shared many videos of even nuclear scientists saying that there's no such thing as a nuclear bomb, just nuclear reactors. All right. Yeah, I know everyone is so done with the propaganda. It's all BS, a distraction. Let's go end this movie. That's the thing, Jose. All right. We got to end this movie. We got to end it fast. But the problem with that, there's just so much corruption. There's just so much evilness in this world. It's literally impossible for all this to stop in a matter of time, because it's like putting a Band-Aid over a problem. You know what I mean? So a Band-Aid is just a temporary fix. So when they're doing it, when they're doing things, they want to do it, and they literally want to clean the disease. They want to cure the disease and not just put a Band-Aid. And there's just so much evilness in the world that it's taken time. All right. But the problem is not the problem. The solution is it's happening, but it's not happening as fast like we want to. And the good thing about seeing all this is it's disclosure. All right, disclosure. And I'm going to show you a video about disclosure. All right. Marcel says this is sure taking attention from USA arresting 244 child trafficking people, and they found 109 children. Nothing on the news about it. Exactly, because the news are part of it, because the news are owned by the same people that are stealing the kids, right? Will George Soros be finally arrested? George Soros has been dead since 2020, my friend. I've reported that many, many, many times. George Soros does not exist no more, but his son is still prancing around, apparently, which I already know. His real son, his son is no longer with us too. I don't know if he's been executed or he's in Gitmo. Either way, I know his name was on the list as executed. But we've been seeing, I'll give you an example, guys. You know, I'll give you an example. Like the Prime Minister of Israel, okay? Before I do anything, here's the Prime Minister Netanyahu, or whatever you pronounce him. You know, that's him on the right-hand side, the real one. That's him on the right-hand side. This is him on the left-hand side. All right, just to let you know, he's been replaced. All right, he's been replaced with this gentleman. As you can see, different nose, different chins, ears. You know, one's got rounded ears, the other one's kind of got pointed ears. The hairdo is kind of iffy. So yeah, he's been replaced, you know, what we call central casting. All right, so he's been replaced a long time ago. All right, so let's get rid of him because I never can pronounce his name, but he's been done a long time ago. Now, one thing you got to understand, and a lot of people don't know this, and I hope they start to learn this, but Israel was never a country until the 40s. All right, just to let you know. If you don't believe me, I'm going to show you something. Netanyahu. Yeah, it's always called Netanyahu. Yeah, there you go, Netanyahu. But anyway, so the Rothschilds, Rockefellers literally made a country in Palestine. It's always been Palestine, but they made Israel a country for them. All right. Now follow me here, because a lot of you that never followed me before are probably going to unfollow me when I tell you the truth. And that's the whole thing about me, telling the truth, no filter. You like it or you lump it. Either way, it's said and it's dropped there. You can try to debate with me. It's never going to work. But everything's always backed up with proof. Now, I think it was 1945 or 1947. They needed the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, they needed a country to call their own, I guess you could say. So that's when Israel situated. And I'm going to show you a little video, if you don't believe me, for the people that can't hear in the back. And this is one of the Rothschilds talking about it. Here we go.
In modern Jewish history, and it begins with 3 words. Dear Lord Rothschild.
Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
Why was it that this letter was sent by the Foreign Secretary to your great-uncle Walter?
It's an interesting question, because It was primarily a movement from Eastern Europe, but they didn't clarify who was in charge of that movement. And in addition, it was after all in Great Britain. So they felt that the Rothschild family should be the one to whom it was addressed. And Walter was Lord Rothschild, and he was a Zionist. With favour the establishment of Palestine as a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavours to facilitate the achievement of this object. It being clearly understood that nothing should be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country.
It's the Balfour Declaration. What do you feel when you see it here?
I genuinely feel it's one of the most extraordinary moments in the history.
So history has always been a lie. Obviously, for the people that didn't know that, history is a lie. You know how they always said the Jews are God's people, are the chosen people? Well, that's just a big crock of crap. Obviously, they're not the chosen people. That's number one. Number two, these are the people that decide to make Israel. And that's why you always hear the term saving Israel for last, because obviously most of the corruption, the biggest thing, the time of our century would have happened obviously in the 1900s, but things really kicked off in the 1940s with the Israel, where they had their own place to start their goal, I guess you could say. Because even though we know about the Titanic didn't hit no stupid iceberg off the coast of Newfoundland and all that baloney, we all know that the Titanic had the three richest men that went against the Federal Reserve, didn't want anything to do with the Federal Reserve, so they had to get rid of the richest men in the world. So they blew it up from inside out. There's many videos of showing what the hull looked like on the Titanic, and those videos have went missing because obviously when they went down to investigate, the hull was blown. You know, obviously you hit an iceberg, the hull is going inside, but they showed that the hull, there was an explosion from the inside going out. So that kind of broke that theory anyway. And look at that thing that happened with that little miniature submarine blew up or something. Was that, did that have something that they had proof also? So either way, the people that are wide awake definitely know that they got rid of them, and then within a year, the whole Jekyll and Hyde on the island where they discussed about the Federal Reserve, and then things started to roll right after that. The Federal Reserve started in 1914. The war started in 1914, World War I. 1918, the whole Spanish flu baloney started, because history repeats. So speaking of Jews, and then you'll get an understanding. All right, and here's where the people might unfollow, but I really don't care. You're going to get a feeling and an understanding why Hitler was deemed a dictator and one of the most cruelest people to kill all these 6 million Jews. No, you guys got that in the wrong history books. Check this little video out of 1 minute and 18 seconds with what the Jews have been doing in the past so many years and what they're up to, and why do so much Jews own everything?
They control billions, influence industries, and shape the world. Find out who tops the list. Morris Levy, Solomon Lew, Michael Milken, Patrick Drahi, Thomas Pritzker, Aaron Levy, Alexei Kuzmichev, Leslie Wexner, Michael Kaduri, Safra Katz, Mark Benioff, Stanley, Bruce Kovner, Michael Moritz, Ted Lerner and family, Avigdor Lieberman, Frank Lowy, Alexander Abramov, Teddy Sagi, Joe Lewis, Linda Resnick, Steph Wertheimer, Stuart Resnick, Leonard Stern, Paul Singer, Yitzhak Tshuva, Moshe Hogeg, Herbert Wertheim, Yuri Milner, Daniel Lubetzky, Jeff Rothschild, Mark Cuban, Richard Liefrak, Mark Scheinberg, Sherry Arison, Ron Barron, Steve Lavin.
It's amazing, huh? All those, and you guys actually think that Hitler just grabbed a bunch of Jews, put them in a train, and send them off to exterminate them just for the hell of it. No, that's not the real story. Everyone should know the real story, that they made Hitler look like a bad person because Hitler seen what the country of Germany was being manhandled and bankrupt on purpose to cause a Great Depression by the Federal Reserve and the banking system of the Rothschilds. So he went into politics, changed that, kicked them out. And obviously any country that tries to kick out the Rothschilds banking system ends up with a war on their hand. Gaddafi was another person. Saddam Hussein was another person, another president that they assassinate. And of course, Hitler and all that stuff, because believe it or not, Hitler didn't die. Obviously, he fled with a bunch of his scientists and closest ones to down south, which would be in Argentina, which there's lots of proof that he was in Argentina, and a lot of his scientists went to the States. But anyway, that was it for the Jewish people. And always remember that when they say save Israel for last, there's a reason why for save Israel for last. And the whole thing with World War III, well, I don't know if you guys seen this. Again, fear-mongering and all that stuff. Check this out. Where are we? Right here. So all of a sudden, Iran wants peace, and they want Trump to do it ASAP. So just in, Iran seeks talks with the U.S. and Israel, sending messages via Arab intermediaries to end hostilities. Iran asked Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Oman to urge Trump to pressure Israel into agreeing to an immediate ceasefire, sources told Reuters. Guys, again, we're going to war against Iran? No, I don't think so. Even though the whole Iran parliament was saying death to America, no, they weren't, guys. They weren't saying that. That was just the fake media putting words in their mouths, trying to piss off a lot of Americans to hate Iran, even though I'm not saying Iran is a good place to begin with, all right? But I'm just saying it was just so hilarious to watch videos of the parliament doing things, saying death to America. Yes, I did see a video of one of the parliament members burning a flag or burning a picture of a flag of America. But that doesn't mean that they wanted to use a nuclear bomb to kill America. You'd be pissed off at America too, as a country, if you've seen the amount of corruption that America has done to other countries since God knows when, since JFK, all right? Every president after JFK has been corrupted to the core until Donald Trump. And Donald Trump stepped down in 2020 to show the world exactly what Joe Biden and the rest of the Congress and the other politicians, the three-letter agencies, it was all for disclosure again. And of course, the United States Incorporated has been and is bankrupt. So anyway, it's funny to see, and we'll just leave it there. And you got to love Trump. All right. You got to love Trump's comedy, because check this out, guys. This one was pretty funny. So anyway, Trump told CNN's Dana Bash, Iran's hardline negotiators are now dead. Bash goes, does that mean Israel got them? Trump goes, well, they didn't die of COVID. All right. Just to let you know. And how you doing, Frank Peters? Truck yard to you, buddy. So yeah, that was funny. Well, they didn't die of COVID. All right. That you got to laugh. All right. You got to give him props. They didn't die of COVID. For the people that said, hey, Trump was involved with the whole vaccine. He's the what was it? The warp speed and the father of vaccines and all that. Yeah. Here he is making fun of the whole COVID BS. All right. Just to let you know. So Anyway, the fear mongering with the World War III and sending Canadian, I've seen it today on a couple of podcasters, Mr. Sunshine and Moose on the Loose. Canada is going to send military troops to help United States fight against Iran. Give me a effing break. Get a reality check. I mean, but hey, fear mongering sells, and these guys don't work. So this is what they make a living on is getting 480,000 viewers to view their podcasts. Obviously, of a bunch of a lot of it is BS of fear mongering because it sells. Trust me, look at their headlines. It's always fear mongering. So we'll just leave it to that. Speaking of Iran and Iraq and all that stuff, I want you guys to take to learn about a visual. I'm going to give you guys a visual. All right. So I'm going to throw something out there, and I think you guys know the number. Canadians. This is not really to our American family, but Canadians. But the American family will realize in a second, because a lot of people, sometimes it takes them a visual to realize. When I talk about immigration and how disgusting it is and how it's changing Canada to the worse, I really do mean that. Anybody that thinks immigrants and immigration is good, please de-platform yourself from me, block me, because I'm going to throw it in your face as much as I can. I hate people that think immigration is a good thing. I've said it, and I'll debate with the best of the best when it comes to immigration. It has nothing to do with it being a strength. It's to completely shatter our economy. It's completely to throw everything off from healthcare, education, welfare. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. All right. And I'm trying to think of the word because I'm having a brain fart right now because my blood pressure is going up when I think of immigrants. But it's the worst thing that can happen to a country, and it's done on purpose. So visualize, all right, is to destabilize is the word I was thinking. Immigrants, the purpose for immigration and mass immigration in countries is, it's always been a plan. It's to destabilize countries. And the UK is a perfect example. Australia is completely gone. Canada is right there, right behind it. And it's all these Commonwealth countries. I wonder, right? So they say that behind the scenes that they are already built in Ukraine. Yeah, of course, destabilization. You guys got it. Yeah, they're already rebuilding Ukraine. They're showing videos from 2014 when they overthrew the government. But anyway, check this out. I'm going to throw you guys a scenario for the Canadians. In the last 4 months in the first quarter of Canada, right? And it's to deplete our resources. Yeah, Janice, like education, welfare, health, it's all that. What is the number that they've been reporting? And if they reported the number, it's a lot higher. But what is the number from January to April for any Elbows Up crew that's been watching, which I would elbows up with a throat punch? How many immigrants do you think the Liberals have brought in? It's not the Conservatives. How many immigrants to Canada in the first quarter, in the last 4 months, from January to April, have they said that they brought in? Does anybody know the answer? UN's Migration Replacement Attack Plan. Thank you, Daly. Yeah, I don't. That's complete proof, but I don't really need to read that, Daly, because I already know what the plan is. All right, so people throw out some numbers to me. Amy threw out 800,000. Anybody else throwing out some numbers? 500,000 from Irene. I thought, Irene, you were on the ball. I guess you're slipping. Irene, you're slipping. I'm discouraged. Was in a car accident today on the highway with an Indian lady. Sorry to hear that, Carrie. The roads are bad. First they were bad with Chinese. Now with Indians, even worse. I'm sorry. I hope you didn't get hurt. There's going to be a lot more of that. John says 250,000. Where are you going? 250,000 just in New Brunswick alone, it seems. Dan says 400 grand. All right. So you guys are getting numbers. The closest one was 800,000, but it's 880,000. All right. 880,000 in the last 4 months. All right. Not 2 million. It's actually over 5 million total in the last 3 years. All right. So 880,000 in the last 4 months. All right, you guys want to hear? You guys want to see? You guys want to see a good analogy, because a lot of people don't understand how much what 880,000 is. All right, I'm going to give you the answer of what 880,000 in the last 4 months looks like. All right, you guys ready for this? 880,000 is the population of New Brunswick. All right, just to let you guys know. 880,000 is a population of a province called New Brunswick, the province that I'm in right now. Let that sink in to you people if you ever think immigration is a positive thing. See, well, I mentioned immigration and my numbers go down, right? That's how much effing retards that need to be throat punched, is because as soon as I mention immigrants, the numbers go down. 5, 6 people. It's always the same elbows up cronies. But yeah, that's a lot of awful immigrants. Yeah, it really is, huh? When you think of it, a whole province in the last 4 months. 4 months. All right. And you know what? The saddest thing is check this out, guys. This is happening all the time. But this is a bunch of them that just got nailed in the Greater Toronto area. All right. These guys were getting arrested for extortion attempts, dozens of stage collisions. This is not even the drug ring, but it's a whole ring of newcomers. I hate to use the word newcomers, immigrants. But look at them, not one damn Canadian in there. And this is a ring. They're all associated, just to let you know, right? All right. They're all associated, just to let you know. So that's disgusting. That's not the ones that got caught with all the drugs last week. This is a whole different gang, and they're all the same type of people. Not dealing with the I just had a cousin today that's coming to Colombia with me. He just got scammed out of his bank accounts from obviously, when you think of internet scam, it's only two types of people that do that: Hindus and Chinese, obviously. So they really robbed him good on his bank account because of the internet. When you buy stuff off the internet, it's the worst thing you can do. I always warn people, do not buy things off the internet because it's not secure, even though you think they're secured. So anyway, but here, since we're speaking for the immigrants on my province of New Brunswick, check this out. My province is not happy. They want New Brunswick negotiated an increase in immigration allocation with the federal government, said last Friday. The province will receive another 4,250 permanent resident nominations. This is an increase of over 1,500 from last year. No, my province of New Brunswick wants more, because you know why they want more? This is the terminology. New Brunswick wants immigrants because they make up the this one's pretty good. I'm trying to read recommendations because of the priority sectors of healthcare, education, and constitutions. I can't read it. Anyway, so they're saying that the immigrants make up the importance for jobs, for education. All right. Healthcare. Guys, I don't know about you. All right. But there's no such thing as an immigrant, Muslim, Indian, Hindu person as an education. That is just the most craziest ideal you could possibly do. And an African teacher, well, there's three that are, well, without saying schools, that were just fired for sleeping in the class for Africans. Africans are known to be the most laziest race in the entire world. And that's a true fact. That's not just me making shit up in the back of my mind. That's a true fact. All right. But to think that our hospital now is Africaville, our two hospitals are completely Africaville. Our university now, my girlfriend went to the university last week to do something, and she said, Jeff, the whole administration is Africans now. They've literally seized up and taken everything. Our banking system now, on our banks, if you come here in Moncton, New Brunswick, I don't know about your towns, but they're filled with Africans. I don't know where they get the idea that Africans are good with money. They're good with education. They're good with healthcare. I won't even go to the hospital in Moncton no more. I don't even care if half of my arm is falling off. I'll go to the Sackville Hospital before I ever go to the Moncton Hospital. And greedy too. Amy says greedy. Yeah, you can't even imagine greedy. We're not even going to go with the pros against the cons against why immigrants and different types of, I've lived in every province in the last 30 years. There's no one that has traveled Canada and lived in every province. Sorry, Ron, except Winnipeg, that you couldn't pay me. Than me. There's no one in Canada that I know of in the last 30 years that has lived in every province. All right. Every province in Canada in the last 30 years than this gentleman right here that's seen it, lived it, and can expose what immigrants and immigration has done to the country in the last 30 years. And it's 10 times fold now, and it's speeding up in a heartbeat. And you think those African kids are going to grow up to be doctors and lawyers? No, I don't think so, guys. This is what happens in New York and LA and all those big cities with the African kids, because they came from Africa. So what happened to them to have these ghettos and black on black crimes and robberies and stuff like that? They started off somewhere. And unfortunately, we are screwed in the province of New Brunswick. Unfortunately, you guys are already screwed in Ontario, which you guys would know, obviously in the Scarborough area and in the Jane and Finch and in the projects, obviously where I was used to be as a kid, used to love until the Africans came over and pretty much took over, the projects downtown Toronto. Yeah, it's disgusting. I don't care what anybody says, but bring your best debaters on against me when it comes to immigrants and immigration. See what happens and how fast they get shattered. And speaking about Ontario, I've told you guys this. The housing market hits 32,000 active listings as sales plunge. I've told you the housing market is going to crash. Believe me when I tell you the housing market's going to crash. It's going to crash. So if you have a house, get rid of it now if you want to make a profit on it, because obviously you'll double your money. Wait around for about a year, less than a year. You'll buy probably the same house with a huge down deposit, and you'll be mortgage free. All right. That would be my best advice to you. I know I've given some advice to a lot of people because at the end of the day, this is the time. This is a selling time right now when it comes to that, because it's going to crash. There's nobody that can afford the mortgage payments as is right now. Homes that are worth 200 grand are now are going for 500 grand. Nobody has the money for that. The banks are going to have a lot of inventory that people can't afford. All right. And going to be selling them off cheap, just like back in 2009. All right. Same thing. By the end of 25, 650 repo. There you go. Curly. Yeah. By the end of 2025, 650,000 repo. Yeah. That one surprised me. There's going to be repos all over the place. So if you got a house, sell it now, because you'll be thanking me in the future. Speaking about thanking me in the future, speaking of discussing immigrants, did you guys see this one? The Freedom Roll or Kazakhstan or whatever you call these people are on their way to the G7, to go after and ambush the Indian PM Modi. Not that I really care about India's prime minister, but they literally have signs that they want him jailed, want him shot, want him in prison, all those stuff. Will their bank accounts be froze? Will there be horses trampling them? No, of course not, because we have a two-tier government policing agency that are disgusting. I will never respect the police for as long as I live. All right, put it that way. For as long as I live, they will never ever get my respect. So Carrie goes, my house is down 400K since a year ago, since March. Look at that. See, it's already taken a dip. Well, if it's down 400K, don't sell it now. Maybe it's too late. But anyway, before we go any further, here's another trivia question for you guys for coincidence. All right, you ready for this? All right, I see people commenting. Check this out. The G7 summit. What is the number? This is a pop quiz, all right? Because this is a coincidence pop quiz question for you, okay? Can't sell? Well, don't sell, Carrie. If you can't sell it, keep it. Or talk to me private about, your stuff, and send me a message. All right. So what is the number all right, of G7 meetings that they had. This one being the number what? What number is the G7? This would go, probably our Canadian family would know the answer. Some will, and most don't. All right, throw some numbers out. What would be a coincidence? All right, let's see some numbers out there. What do you guys think? Throw out some numbers that you think about what you guys think. Was 8, 50? Sherry says 51st. That's right, guys. Sherry got the answer. Believe it or not, coincidence or not, but maybe you guys didn't know this, but is it a coincidence that Canada's hosting the 51st G7 summit in Alberta? Huh? In Alberta. Does that sound kind of fishy to you? Huh? Anybody? Tammy says 77. Huh? What did we talk about? Jocko didn't even get the answer. 51st. Canada being the 51st state. First, you'll start in Alberta. You guys find that coincidental? Coincidental? What do you guys think? Kind of weird, huh? Yeah, Jennifer, that's Russia was thrown out because it was the G8, but they threw out Russia. Obviously, Trudeau and Biden, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, 51st state. Call that a coincidence, guys? I think not. I think not at all. I think everything happens for a reason. 51st state, Alberta, G7. Wow. Everything is crap, all in sight. Smith is the one that's on it. Yep, she's awesome. Speaking of coincidence and symbolism will be their downfall. So I don't know if you guys seen or heard, but there was this young Spanish singer. I'll get to her name in a second. She was told to sing the national anthem. All right. Did you guys see that? She was told to sing the national anthem at the Los Angeles baseball game, Dodgers. All right. So what do you guys think that this person did? She's Spanish. So instead of singing the national anthem in English that she was told to, she sang it in Spanish. Did you guys see that before I show the picture? Anybody? Anybody seen that Spanish singer that sang it? Anybody? Well, check this out. So Latin singer Baby Nasa, whoever that is, was asked to sing the national anthem in English at the Dodgers Major League ball game. Instead, she sang it in Spanish to protest against the ICE raids. What do you guys notice? Was it not in Punjab? No, it was in Spanish, buddy. But what do you guys notice? Anybody? Anybody notice anything? Symbolism will be their downfall. That's the singer. What do you guys notice on the photo? That's right. You getting that answer? You can't, yeah. You see that number 6 there on her curls? Now, why would she put 6 on her curl now? Huh? Why would she go and do that? Isn't that crazy? In case you guys missed it. Unbelievable, right? Yep. So we know what she's part of, or she's trying to be part of, and all that stuff. Speaking of being part of, all right, remember I want to show you guys something the other day, but I didn't have enough time to show it. Plus, I didn't have the exact picture to show it. Here's a photo. Here's a photo of a class, all right? Take a good look at that photo. Not that it's going to matter to you guys, all right? Take a good look at that class photo. Look at the very bottom right-hand side, all right? At the very bottom on the far right. Anybody see that? Give me a thumbs up. Tell me that you see that gentleman on the far right corner sitting down on his hands and knees. Anybody? Right there. This one right there. Anybody know? Yeah, that's right. You guys are getting the answer, right? You guys see that? For the people that can't or don't know the answer? So look, not clear? You can't really see it, huh, Irene? Pam says, seen it. Brenda thinks it's Gates. Anybody else? You see? Too small, sorry. Well, believe it or not, no, that's not Trump. That's Rosie O'Donnell. Can you guys see it? Stephen got it. That's Rosie O'Donnell. See? Even Sherry looked at it. That's Rosie. Can't you see? Started out as a boy. Carrie can't see it? Jennifer, no way. And says Clinton. No, that's Rosie O'Donnell. Who, believe it or not, Rosie O'Donnell. So he went from being Ralph O'Connell, was his real name, the third. So Ralph O'Connell the third to Rosie O'Donnell. But no one's seen that coming. So yeah, that's Rosie. Unbelievable, huh? Looks like Gates, yeah, a little bit, but that you can see that is Rosie O'Connell, right from. So basically, it's another trans, right? Which we kind of know. That's why Trump, Trump, she hates Trump with a passion because she's trans, right? So many of them are, all right. All the first ladies, a lot of the first ladies, all the princesses. I could have showed you a video that all the princesses in Europe. And all through Europe are all men. They're all trainees. All the royal families, they're all trainees. You guys should see the video. I thought I saved it on my phone. If it's on my phone, I'll show you guys next time that most of the royal family females are all trainees. It's disgusting, and that's why no one really picked up on it. All right, no one really picked up on it because they wouldn't allow them. The news stations to get a good glimpse of them so you can kind of go, oh shit, that's really a man. You understand? But anyway, I want you guys, if you guys want a little bit of comedy, all right, speaking of comedy, because we're almost done here, check this out. And plus, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the hockey game tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'll try to find the video. It should be on my phone with the trainees. But anyway, check this out, because once you hear it, you're never gonna be able to unhear it. All right. Yeah, Macron's wife is a man. Actually, Macron's wife is Macron's dad. I think I shocked you on that one. So yeah. So check this out. Hold on, guys. All right, hold on. I want you guys to listen. Pay attention, because once you hear this, it's only a 19-second clip. Once you hear it, you're never going to be able to unhear it. Is tomorrow for the hockey, Mike? Ah, crap. Tomorrow night? Oh, well, I'm only leaving for Columbia Wednesday, so tomorrow it is. Hockey game is tomorrow night. All right, goes to show you how much I've been paying attention. All right, get your focus on. All right, here we go. Check this out. It made me laugh, but it actually sounds so crazy. All right, here we go.
Life is bigger. It's bigger than you, and you are not me. The links that I will go to.
That made me laugh. All right, that made me laugh. So did you guys get to hear it? What did it sound like? Who did it sound like? Because we've all heard that song before, but we never really clued in until I'd seen this on TikTok, and I started laughing because it sounds exactly like who? Let's hear it again.
Oh, life is bigger. It's bigger than you, and you are not me. The links that I will go to.
Was Trump a singer back in the day? Because that's exactly sounds like Donald Trump, doesn't it? And we all heard the song, but obviously we didn't clue in, right? So yeah, it sounds exactly like Donald Trump. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought I bring some comedy for you guys when it comes to when it comes to Donald Trump. But anyway, I thought that was pretty good comedy, and I think that it is it, guys. Yeah, it's REM obviously, but it sounds like Trump, right? So anyway, because it really does sound like Donald Trump. Is it AI? I don't think so. That's the same voice that we heard. So anyway, guys, that will be it for tonight. I hope I ran over and did everything. Yep, I talked about everything that I needed to talk about. Besides the ICE raids with all the immigrants in the United States, anyone that attacked an ICE agent pretty much got over, well, it's a federal charge now. They get between 10 and 20 years. That pretty much stopped all the ICE things that's been happening against with the immigrants down in the United States, because now it's a federal law for our American family. Great news, obviously. You guys already had my saying on the immigrants when it comes to that on the last podcast. All right. Anyway, I love you guys all. Thank you for coming out. Thursday, I will be in Colombia. Colombia. So I will do a live from Colombia showing you guys where I am. I won't be doing it on StreamYard. I'll actually probably be doing it live on Facebook, literally live on Facebook. So there won't be anything about the news unless I know something, but it will be showing you guys how beautiful Colombia is. And I'll be walking around with my camera, showing you guys live of being down there. And please, if you guys want to see the video, obviously same time, same place. Same time, same channel, different place. This time I will be in my beautiful country of Colombia, enjoying the weather, enjoying the atmosphere. And for God's sakes, I'm the immigrant, but I bring value, I bring morals, and I love God and Christ. And I'm not there to change their laws or change on how they live and how they think, like the parasites that come to our country. Anyway, I love you guys all. I'm going to kick off the show and send it off and close it off, by a little bit of Dropkick Murphys. And I'll see you guys Thursday in a different country. I love you all. Adios, amigos. And like Don Cherry says, you people hold that line. We'll see you guys back Thursday.